Actually, I kind of want to roll on roll.
Hello, welcome to tonight's episode of Roll This. If this is your first time watching, welcome in. We are a mostly normal group of friends that all share a love for Dungeons and Dragons and decided to put our game on the internet live for everybody to watch each week. This week has been kind of hectic. Also, I have my microphone all screwy, but whatever. Speaking of, we have merch now, so you can see that there. If you go to shop.rollthis.com, you guys can get your hands on a shirt of your own. We have a bunch of different ones on there, so definitely check that out if you are interested in having some super comfortable clothing that helps support us. So tonight we are also doing another giveaway of dice that have been handpicked and blessed by our friends over at Tabletop Game and Hobby in Overland Park, Kansas. Tobias may or may not have licked these. But these are the marble green/dark greens. If you go to giveaway.rollthis.com or just put !giveaway in the chat, you will be able to go see a better picture of these and then also get yourself entered. You only have to do one of the things that's on there, but the more things you do, the more entries you get. So, and with that, I think that's all the announcement stuff. The last episode we had was pretty long. It was about an hour longer than we actually intend for our episodes to be each week. Try to keep them around 2 hours, but last one was right at 3, basically. Had a lot of stuff that happened. We had, excuse me, we had our adventurers began their journey down the, actually, I'm going to switch over to this scene here, just makes more sense. Our adventurers traveled down the trail that Bryn had found. They encountered a bunch of hillfolk bandits. One of the hillfolk tried to obtain Caelid Stratz's shiny sword, but Kael resisted. Tensions began to rise. Bryn quickly stepped in, being familiar with these feral tribes from his time wandering the shifting forest, and he offered the hill person some of his rations, which distracted the aggressor as he devoured the food off to the side. They continued to demand more, brandishing weapons. So Mazikine decided to kill one of them, almost doing it in one blow. It caused a huge uproar of battle, which resulted then in Caelid Stratz falling and being brought back up. After that, they continued down the path. I'm skipping a bunch of stuff because if I just read word for word, we'll be here for 20 minutes. They continued down the path after a brief argument between Kael and Bryn about trying to be too friendly for Caelid's tastes. And then they came to the Cave of Sanasa, which is the serpentine creature that has been terrorizing the city of Feldar, taking livestock and children and things like that. The group went in. Maze was caught up by Sanasa and drug farther into the cave. And then Bryn and Caelid Stratz were tasked with saving her. They went to do so, and after a fairly brief battle for the strength of this creature, they took her out with Kael currently being poisoned as we pick up back into the episode. Yeah, paralyzed. He was paralyzed by Sanasa's poison-ish spray, which is just one of her kind of special abilities. She's got the ability to paralyze one person at this time. I'm still working on developing her a little bit more. She's going to continue to grow as a character. So as a character on D&D Beyond that you guys can go find yourselves in the near future, she will be a little bit more beefed up than she was. Not necessarily on hit points, but on abilities, because those were not finished. If they were, everybody probably would have died and I would have felt really bad about it. So, super glad. Exactly.
Great writing, really.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, so welcome to the first episode. Everybody just died. Second episode, we'll start a new campaign. That would have been terrible. But
same campaign, just new characters, really.
Right.
Need to redo all
True,
this.
yeah, true. And now a new group of adventurers has been tasked with this. Yeah, exactly. So.
Turns out JR was in the shower the whole time.
Right, yeah. So, anywho, We if we can get the map down a little bit more towards the blue over there, we will we'll pick things up with Mazikine just ripping the tongue out of Sanasa, and Bryn stabbing her with his torch, and we have our paralyzed and frozen Dragonborn Kaelid Strats. He can't be the first to talk this week.
So, do you think that'll just wear off after a little bit?
Also, I forgot to mention, you are can't see right now because you don't have your torch. If you want to just light the torch back up,
That's
you
right.
can. But
You shoved it
Yeah.
in
I
the
was- I
gash.
was
yeah,
definitely like
exactly.
the torch,
Perfect.
yeah.
So the torch is relit for you guys, so you can see again.
Can I see?
Yes, you can see. You're only paralyzed, so you can see. You're just like
your eyes are moving.
Yes.
A little twitchy.
Ugh.
I just nudge him a little bit, not with this torch, obviously, with my foot. Nudge him a little bit. Hey, are you all right there?
Can you?
Do you think he's
move?
all right? I see some movement in
I
the
mean,
eyes.
his
I'm looking up and down, trying to nod.
internal dialogue. Well, at least his sword is still shiny.
Right. Maybe a little less shiny.
A little less.
Let's see, what have I got here?
Will I be familiar with any ability, like possibly like a cure? It's not really a wound, but would any of my healing
do you have
abilities?
anything that gets rid of the condition of paralyzed?
I don't think I do,
Or
unfortunately.
that
we
removes
just do a medicine
poisons
check?
or anything like that? You could, yeah.
I will try to rouse him.
Okay.
For a medicine check.
You can see what happens there, which you think may work.
Right. That's a 16.
16.
Just based on my upbringing, my druidic upbringing, maybe I knew something.
It would be actually kind of interesting if it had been poisoned.
Poison would have been
Then you would have been really easy with that because even just on that kind of creative usage there, you could have like maybe had some items on you that would have cured it or something, but no, it's, let's see. I'm reading a couple of your guys' abilities just to see what we have here, because there is one thing that could definitely be done that would fix it, but you don't know what it is yet.
You're a cleric, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Wouldn't
I'm
this be your realm?
trying to see what spells I have.
You take
You've got
a
your
My
moment.
magic
You take a
memory.
moment to commune with Lemore.
Yes. Right, I think the magicalness that I saw going on
Basically,
my tome
medicine
right
check
here.
and Nothing.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah. You didn't notice anything that
'Cause
you.
there's not like a antidote to it.
There's not an antidote to it. No. I'm trying to think if
Yeah, I'm trying to
there's
like pull up my spells
any way
to
that I
see.
could come up with something for that. But I can't.
I don't think I'm strong enough to really pick them up and just drag them out of the cave.
I mean, you
No,
guys
it's
could
just
give it a try and see
healing.
if that works.
The big boy.
Yeah.
There are two of you.
Okay.
Did we officially hit the level 2 mark yet, or is that?
Oh yeah, that
yeah,
would be
we-
another thing that's probably helpful to tell the stream as well. After fighting such a ridiculously high-level monster that was, again, kind of a little overpowered, but worked out really well for both story and for a really good fight. Our adventurers have leveled up to level 2 now. They got 700 XP off of Sanasa, and then with the initial encounter against the Hillfolk, that also boosted things up as well. So yeah, you guys are all officially level 2 now.
Yay. There's much
And I
frozen.
think everybody had done their rolls already as well.
Yeah.
I think going forward we'll do that on stream, like the actual roll portion of it, like kind of plan things ahead of time, but then we'll just do that as like a, hey, here we are, just all around deal.
Okay.
But yeah, we had done that already.
Right, now that my
in
magical
that case-
PC's in, I'm going to walk over
Okay.
to his body, reach in my bag, I'm gonna sprinkle leaves on him.
Oh God. So
stare at him
Mazikine has decided that that Caleb Strats is dead.
I'm just like curious.
Is it-
like, is
I like
this,
a vid-
is
I
this
like
like
a
a
druid
cleric
rune.
ritual?
It's not working. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, was that
Is
that was
is that what
not
you
a
did?
remedy?
Is that not it? I heard leaves work well for things.
Typically, you find certain herbs and grind them into like a poultice. Or
Oh. I'll pick up some of the leaves and put it back in my bag then.
Do a perception roll for me, Bryn.
that's a 19 roll
Okay.
plus 3.
That's what I needed. So, as you got closer to kind of inspect what may be going on with him, you noticed the torchlight, like, hit the amulet around his neck and was kind of absorbed by it, and like it glowed a little bit and then just absorbed. And that was when his eyes started moving around and looking at you guys.
Mm-hmm. Like going crazy, like more active.
Mm-hmm.
So if I like bring the torch closer to the amulet, what kind of response?
You get a very minimal response, not as much as you would have expected, but now Caleb Strats has like the use of like his eyelids and stuff, and that's about it. Like the eye, like all around his eyes, it must look obnoxious, that facial expression. But like this general portion of his face is now like kind of just moving.
So I will go ahead and Maze, can I borrow some of those leaves?
Oh,
And I gather,
And
are there, like sticks and
eagerly
stuff?
hand them to him.
It's pretty barren in there. There's a few dead bodies, and then there's the leaves that she had in her pocket.
Right.
And if you had any kind of like tinder on you,
Right.
you would have.
I'll
it at
gather
that point,
whatever I
but
can that's flammable and just like try and make a little fire next to them.
It would be smaller than your torch itself.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait, do you need something to light it with?
Well, I've got a torch.
Okay.
I've got
Yeah,
a
the
lit
torch is
You got a torch.
But I
glowing
just
and
I was
everything.
trying to make a bigger fire, like maybe it would be like warm him up or.
I have an idea. Wait, does he have a shield? I can't remember.
I'll touch his amulet.
No shield. Okay.
Since it responded.
So Maze tries to grab his sword, and I'm going to try to reflect the light from it onto his fancy necklace.
When you touch it, it's like touching a hot pot. It burns your fingers a little bit. Doesn't do any damage, but it just like.
Okay. So not.
That was what, touching his amulet?
Touching his amulet didn't help.
I tried to. I wanted to see if I could take his sword because it's so shiny, and move it to where it will reflect, like onto his amulet. It's so shiny.
Okay.
I want to see what this shiny sword does.
Yeah. Let's see. I need that. So you do that, and between the two of you, with Bryn holding the, I almost called it a lightsaber for some reason because I'm imagining a glowing sword. You've created a
that awesome.
lightsaber
Yeah,
with
it's
this
Star Wars
glowing sword through the fire and the reflection, and just kind of angling it all right at the amulet in the way that you would. Almost like you were trying to signal, like with a mirror or something.
Mm-hmm.
You get that beam kind of focused in, and while it hasn't fully unlocked Caleb Strats' jaw, he's got more movement and now has the ability to speak.
Move my hand to my face.
Ah.
I actually didn't think of that.
Mm.
All right, so he does it.
Yep.
All right, whisper a little prayer, and I use lay on hands to neutralize the poison that's been affecting me.
Yep.
And I get up and I'm like, "You don't get to have that."
All I had to do was
No.
touch you?
No, you do not. You do not get the soul. Done.
So touching
help.
people takes away paralysis. No, I'm not going to.
Oh God! I didn't even think of that. That's
You better
terrifying.
not touch me. I still have the sword.
Oh my
Shiny sword.
God!
But I do thank both of you for trying.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Maybe took a little longer than it needed, but we got there.
Yeah. So what was that thing?
Giant snake or something. I didn't get to talk to it. I mean, it has scales. Is it your relative?
No, not
okay.
this time.
Okay,
He's
just
always
making
looking
sure.
for family.
My condolences. It did bite really hard, but I got nothing from it before it died, except for its tongue. And I'm like waving it around, like here's the tongue.
Put that away.
Oh, okay.
Put that away.
You go. Yeah, you had it in your hand because you picked it up off the ground as she fell, and as you go to shake it around, you open your hand and it's just a little like puff of black shadow and wisps into the
Stay
air.
around just long enough for the bit.
Well, that works.
It's like incense.
Well, now we have no real evidence that we took out the threat.
This is true.
Do you have bite marks?
I healed. Yeah, unfortunately.
True, yeah, I didn't actually think of that, but
I guess we'll just have to take our word for it and accept that they're safe.
Well, it said it served the shadows.
That is a problem.
I mean, if nothing else, we can provide intelligence.
True.
Seems that there's something bigger coming.
Potentially the man that set us on this path would know more about that.
I mean, we could have them bring a goat to the cave, tie it up, see if something comes out. If nothing comes out, there's your proof. We did it.
All these ideas
to
the side. We should probably get going. I don't want to be in this cave any longer.
Agreed.
Oh, that's right. Here, I could lead the way because I can see perfectly.
well, sort of. Seeing great.
Dark vision.
Yeah.
And I trip on a rock while I'm walking. Like, except for that one.
Nice.
All right.
What's that? Kicks it over. Too big.
All right.
So as you guys travel out, you're lit only by the torchlight now.
Okay. Question: Are our tokens on this map?
Your tokens are irrelevant. We just have the map.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I was just making sure.
They are there.
I mean, because
but-
we're just walking
yeah,
out.
you're just walking out.
She's in front, yeah.
Yes, I would be. I'm
And
front.
it's just we're shoulder to shoulder.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
What's with the hood?
I don't know. She was just wearing it when.
Oh wait, can I hear this?
Yeah.
Did you guys ask this? You guys are whispering behind me, right?
You might be here.
What would- I'm trying to think of what the roll would be, but roll a d20 and we'll figure that out as it rolls.
Perception.
Should be
One.
perception, I would
I'm
imagine. Oh, you
just
rolled
like,
a 1?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
rolled a
you're,
1.
you're
She's
completely
singing to
oblivious. So you're
herself.
starting to kind of sing as
I
you
think
kind
that
of
might just
skip
be like
out.
passive perception, honestly.
I'm just
unless
walking
you're,
around, like-
trying to focus on it.
Yeah.
Dead.
For something like that, I like it being a roll just because that way it's like, otherwise it would have been, oh yeah, you definitely heard it because they're talking right behind you.
But I'm not.
But the
listening in
intention was for it to
I think
be.
passive perception. Maybe she heard whispering.
Yeah.
but she didn't. She couldn't discern what it was about.
I think she's leaning.
You rolled a
into the
1,
death
so
cleric thing.
you heard nothing.
Just sprinkling leaves because we're walking through and there's like dead
Yeah.
skeletons and it's like wait for you. I see one particular body and I go Emerald Lagasse on it. I'm like bam, and then we walk on.
Who's in Rolagasse?
One of the weird cleric things.
So she's a. Yeah, I need to talk to her about that. That's not something that I usually look past.
Say I'm not accustomed to clerics and their how they function in society, but that doesn't seem normal.
Yeah, it's rough. Anyway, let's get going. So we're back in the forest, back in the woods.
Okay.
I
And
suppose.
just heading towards town, right?
Right, yeah, mission accomplished.
Yeah, we just gotta go report back to the drow.
Perfect. So this time, as you head through, it's you're not met with any kind of hostility or obstructions, other than the tree is still across the path in that same spot because it wasn't cleared and there's no reason to do so. And so you just kind of hop over it and keep heading along, remembering the battle that you guys had gotten into on your way up, kind of cautiously glancing around, making sure they're not still there, and then heading on. You arrive back towards the western edge of Feldar, and there's a map in the bookmarks, the blue thing, that is called, I think, just Feldar. You guys, I will move your stuff to that. Feldar has 3 entrances, one on the south, one on the north, and then there is, and then there's one, where's your buttons? There you are. Perfect. So north, south, and then the eastern edge as well, which is right by where the Aran River comes up towards Feldar. So what you're seeing now, you may have to refresh your pages, but what you should be seeing now is just the general overview of the town's layout. The house that you guys originally came into is on the, will it do the blip thing if I click on it? It's supposed to.
We should be able to mark it.
Yeah, it's not doing the little blip thing. But anyways, the bottom left corner is where the house is. It's the one right in the middle on that row of 3 there. Then you've got the main gate there, just off towards the east, and then going towards the central square. There's a large tree that grows there, and then you would have seen on your entrance. There's the Grand Hall of Feldar is a square structure that kind of rises up about 2.5 stories or so. So it kind of towers over the other buildings. 3 stories, sorry. So it's up over the top of the other buildings, which are at most 2 stories.
That's the one on the west?
The one on the left side, yep. The kind of dark reddish one. Mm-hmm. So as you come back to town, which general direction are you going to be heading?
Before we enter, Mazakin, right?
Yes, yes. You could call me Maze.
Maze.
Yes.
Look into my eyes.
They're so shiny.
What are you?
I'm a cleric.
I cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to read the specifics on that. Detect Evil and Good. Okay. For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. So it would be looking, so based on the spell, it would be looking for aberrations, celestials, elementals, fey, fiend, or undead.
Right.
Celestial would be defined as pantheon, correct? Be the same. It's gods and goddesses.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, celestial and fey and fiend would probably be in the same.
That's kind of what I was leaning towards. You very, very briefly get kind of this like glimpse of like you get this kind of like jolt in your mind from behind you, and then it's gone instantaneously. The moment that you're like, ugh, like somebody comes smacked you on the back of the head, you're just like you turn and look really fast, and there's nothing there. But you felt it away from you, not from Maze.
Not in her. Okay.
Your eyes are really shiny.
I'm like a couple steps ahead, looking back. Like, are we talking to this drow or not?
I mean,
I did promise goodies.
That is the job.
Now, do I notice him like when he casts that? Like, do you physically look behind you when you notice the evil, or?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. It's my job to care.
Okay. So you're just heading on in. Which entrance are we going into?
Oh, into town?
Yep. If that's where you're going.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I think we're in agreement. We want to go back to the drow.
Are we approaching from the north?
You would be kind of coming in from the west directly. Yeah. So you'd almost be because like the path was on the west side and then kind of curved back up to the northwest. Yeah. So I mean, you come kind of straight in on the
whatever the closest entrance is.
Probably the south, closest to where the house was. So you could just come in and turn in and go to the house. So is that what you're doing?
Yep. That's what I'm doing. I don't know about these 2 jokers.
Okay.
Well, we have to get paid.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the house.
Perfect. So we'll move your guys' characters over to there.
So does Tree Boy need to go talk to that giant tree in the middle before we go?
Well, it's not asking us for food, so it's probably fine.
Okay. I won't touch it, I swear.
Oh my goodness.
I have a greater affinity with fauna versus
okay.
flora.
Okay. All right.
No.
Whatever you're into, man.
no.
Whatever you're
No,
into.
I'm not one to judge. Look at me, right?
I've seen the Adams
Hate this
Family. I know
assets
who they
thing.
are.
All right, so we go in and we... Is it locked?
Oh yeah, let me say. Well, do we knock?
So, yeah, how do you approach?
I know.
What do you do?
What did we do last? We just walked in last time, didn't we?
Right, but now we know someone lives here.
Yeah. Delicious.
Maybe.
I think someone
Yeah.
does.
Ish.
We don't know. He just
Yeah.
appeared.
All right,
and
so
disappeared.
dragon knocks. What's a dragon knock sound like?
It's Kellett
No?
Strats.
We can be polite.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just
Try the... Is there a handle door?
opens.
It opens.
Mhm.
Guess we go
And
in.
walk in.
Okay, perfect.
Um,
You're facing the wrong way. Whatever.
I'll look around. Is there anything that's changed?
That's a very good question. There is on this map, but the only thing, make a perception roll for me.
I wonder if I could do that from here. Can
Roll a
I? Do it from here.
real dice for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
a
like,
real
aw.
dice. Not a digital dice. I don't like digital dice.
I rolled a 1 again.
Okay, so yeah, it looks
My dice
exactly the
is
same as
broken.
when you walked in. The fancy chair is still there at the end. There's no other individuals there. The fire is still lit. It's still warm, but not oppressively so or anything. Because it's kind of
You're my new.
closer to like evening now. Because you made the whole journey all the way through. It was midday when you got there. You went through the whole fight. You had your interaction there, and then you headed away from the cave. All the way back down took you about half day or so. So it's roughly evening, nearing sunset at this point. And just looks normal. The boxes are still there. If you actually move around to look at stuff, you still see the beds over there. All of that.
Okay. Is there food on the table?
Nope. There's no food on the table, but make a perception roll as well.
Better than mine.
14 plus probably was it wisdom?
I should have
16.
should have been investigation, but either way, it makes no difference because you walk up and you just kind of like look around on the table, and as you kind of bump into the table, you like rest your hands on it just naturally, and a letter just kind of appears in front of the fancy chair.
Like a letter?
Like just a letter, open piece of paper, just fizzles into
letter
existence. Yep. No, just a letter. It's K for Kellett Strats.
Okay, for I got your message, but
Yeah.
don't have a
Okay,
response.
period. That's what's on the letter, ironically. No.
Didn't even say anything.
So I needed to actually do better on this one because it's been a week and a day. So the letter, in short, is written very, very well. It has very, very nice writing on it. It's very high quality ink. It's very high quality parchment. It has the edge of it has the kind of a similar filigree to what the chair has on it, bordering all around the edges, in kind of a like a deep maroon red, contrasting the parchment color. And Sirenscape just did its own thing there for a second, so I don't know what's going on with that. And this time it does have a seal on it. And the seal that it has on it is stamped in the top right corner in just a dark kind of reddish wax. And it looks like kind of a large plus sign but then on the edges it has, in between each long piece, it has another little piece pointing out.
Okay.
And none of you actually recognize it. Just kind of like
I was going to say.
weird.
But
But yeah, you guys wouldn't recognize this one, even though, like, even with a knowledge of, like, even your specific knowledge of, symbols and standards and things like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick out as one that you've seen before. It's kind of
that's weird.
yeah, it's weird that it's
so I relate
new.
that to them.
Yeah.
This isn't a seal that I recognize. And I've been told on these things.
Wouldn't have any idea.
Maze walks over to the fancy chair and I just kind of see if I could, if he's there invisible again, because that's where he showed up.
I really wanted to react to that as if there was somebody there, but no.
No, okay.
You just feel a chair. If you push, like you bat your hand through the air a couple times and find nothing, and then just kind of press in and you just hit the chair.
What does the letter say?
So the letter, in
Let's
short,
read
it says, "Excellent work, excellent work dispatching Sanasa. Your reward, as promised, is placed beneath the pillows on your beds. You are also welcome to continue using this space as your residence and base of operations here in the north. I suggest you meet with Harlas Meridon, the mayor of Feldar, to inform him directly of your deeds. He may be able to offer other work or other incentives. If you ever make your way to Edgewater, feel free to seek me out, and we shall continue this partnership." And that is all that's on there.
Well, base of operations. More work. Mysterious clerics of death.
Where?
I should report this. Where's the nearest? Where's the nearest guard? Like, did I see any sort of post office?
Yeah, so there's at each entrance there's just one kind of patrolman there, and there is a wall where you've got two other individuals that are circling, kind of opposed to each other, just at the top. Just keeping an eye out. Feldar isn't a place that gets a lot of action. It's actually, you would know this, based on your kind of just military knowledge. It was previously a small fort, kind of just a forward operating base type of place.
Okay.
And it's been converted into just a trading hub in essence now. There's a large inn where a lot of travelers that come to the north stay. The dwarves that transport their goods down the Aran River, they will often park. What do you call it with a boat? Park the boat? Dock the boat there at the wharf from Feldar and come in and stay for the evening before heading on down to Edgewater.
Or any, could I send a message?
You could
Is there
probably...
like a messenger service?
You would be able to maybe ask around for something like that, maybe at the inn or at like a general store or something like that, or just anybody you see.
I could just try to hire some upstanding
or
young
you just
lad
find
to
somebody.
Here's some money, go to this place, deliver a letter.
Or say, am I aware he's trying to send a letter? Or
What's that?
are you trying to send a letter?
Right.
I know a carrier. My friend, my as you would call a pet. The Raven, they're used to send messages. He's very well trained.
Okay. You said he was your friend.
Yes. Do you
And you
not...
saw him in the wild.
Yes. Actually, I thought I heard him.
Well then.
I didn't even push any buttons on that one.
I suppose I'll send this letter with your friend.
Okay. I'll
But
go out and
perhaps
call for
send another messenger just to be safe.
it. Okay. More messages out, the better.
Right, because ravens they get lost. They get shot.
He does
with
stand
arrows.
out too.
They get
And you
eaten.
didn't see him in the woods.
No.
Oh.
It was dark out there.
Oh, got you. I will go out and call for Lemore.
Okay, where specifically are you going to go to do so?
Just outside the door. So I could call for Lemore. Lemore, we got a letter to deliver. And I call for him.
While they're doing this, I'm just investigating the reward that was placed under it.
So you're heading to the beds and checking under the pillows, see if it is actually there. What you find is 3 coin purses, each with 100 gold in them under each pillow. So one,
just take
and
So
one.
100 gold for
100
each.
gold per person that goes in and retrieves it from under the pillows.
Gotcha.
Or if Bryn takes all of them, then
Yeah,
Bryn
because
has
I didn't. I
300.
walked
Just
out.
take
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. So,
Who's chaotic neutral?
The Tooth Fairy King.
so you stood out there for about 10 minutes or so,
Mm-hmm.
waiting, looking at the skies, looking kind of trying to strain your eyes into the trees. You don't see Lenore anywhere.
Well, he must be busy. But he's really good at delivering letters.
Right, well trained, yeah.
Yes.
Friend, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna go retrieve my reward and find a messenger who's a little bit more keen on delivering things when I need them to. No offense.
No,
Sure,
no.
he's great.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I do that and I go looking about. Maybe stop by the. Would it be where's the mayor?
Isn't it late?
Base.
Is it late at night?
So right now it's kind of sunset.
Okay.
So you
So
would
the
imagine.
mayor could be anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
There's no office that he'd be necessarily in.
Maze will go take her reward. Is it possibly too late? Is there like a tavern or someplace to go get food here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. If you just kind of wander out,
Yeah.
searching, you'll end up you see the tree in the center,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of odd because it glows a little bit. It's green,
Mm-hmm.
and then around the very edges of every leaf is kind of slightly glowing. Not glowing like boom, this is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
like just very faintly around the edges
Okay.
of it. So you're kind of drawn to that, and then you
pretty.
hear the bustle of the tavern off to the northeast.
Okay. Well, what is? I look at the tree for a little bit. I don't touch it. It's just pretty, and then I'll go get food.
Okay.
But I announced to them before I leave that I'm going to go find a place to get food.
Okay. Sounds good. And
I
are you
reckon
two
I'll go with you. I'll probably find a messenger.
and Bryn?
I would like to go to this tree.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Ironically,
I
when
gotta
I
live up
made
to
it,
the
I
tree
wasn't
boy
even.
name.
Yeah, ironically, when I made it, I
Yes.
wasn't even thinking of like that until after the fact.
It's
Just
like,
kind of
tree boy, you
ridiculous.
gotta look at this.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Feldar overview here and drop you guys in, which isn't super necessary because you kind of know where you are, but whatever. Do it to do it. Also, I've gotten a little bit quicker on getting your guys' characters out there.
I
which
see
is
that,
nice.
yeah.
I've got a set of the ones that I'm going to use, and they're all in the same thing, so I don't have to scroll anymore.
Gotcha.
Plus, one has a shield, so makes it look paladin.
So are we walking together? Sort of?
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay.
left at the same time, and you guys all kind of come to the tree at the same moment. So,
So I say 100 gold and a house. That's not bad. Although, anyone else find it odd that he knew we killed the snake?
I didn't find that interesting.
Paladin?
You're asking me
Yes, you seem very
Hello?
perceptive.
about the machinations of something that can become invisible.
It's
I hit things with swords.
very shiny sword.
You're not a fighter. You got some brains in there.
oh, I hit things with swords.
I fixed the face. That's it.
All right, so I guess are we at the tree now? I kind of
Yeah, you two are kind of nearer towards the tavern. Bryn just walked up and immediately is just like with the tree.
I'm staring at the tree and
Yeah,
then
reverence.
I guess I could hear it and maybe smell food
Right.
that way.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so you guys are going into the tavern then.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm walking
the
up to
inn.
the tree.
My needs
Okay,
are fresh.
perfect. Right up beside it to where you could actually physically touch it and stuff. Okay, perfect. And what will you do as you do so?
Place a hand reverentially on it.
Okay.
And,
Thought you were more into fauna.
well, you know, I dabble a little bit here and there. I'm equal opportunity. It's still nature in the midst of a somewhat city. No, so to the tree, I'm just like apologizing to it and that it's the lone survivor and all its brethren were chopped down in their prime to make way for this nasty scar on the land.
Okay.
So, are you still out there?
No, I'm with you.
Okay, I was about to walk out and say, well, maybe we should give them some time together.
I say, I'm having a moment here.
Yes.
No. We're going.
Let Tree Boy do his tree thing. You could go shine your sword.
Later.
Okay.
Later.
Food first.
Alone.
No, I don't mind if the others are in the room. It's just a sword.
Do let's see, probably nature. Nature roll for me.
That's a 6.
6.
Still better than mine.
You feel kind of a pulse back against your hand. Just some kind of energy and nothing more.
I feel that it heard me.
Mm-hmm.
It appreciates the gesture.
Yeah.
It's good for me.
It wasn't
And
like, it didn't express any kind of like sadness to you. It's
Right.
just acknowledgement. Just it knows you're here. It appreciates that you came up to it. And that's kind of it.
And I'll go follow these two.
Perfect.
So while we're in there, I turn around like,
Because ideally we need to
do you
find the
think
mayor at
it's
some point.
sappy he talks to trees?
I get
It's
it.
okay, we've been
Can we
drinking.
take her-
Hurts my soul.
You've been drinking. You don't.
I've been
Door.
drinking, yes.
You don't want me
Open
to start.
auditions for a new cleric.
Yeah.
You don't want me to start belching.
I'm going to make you roll with 3 disadvantages.
Don't you think that's a bit of a corny joke?
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
I got a new best friend.
all of the previous sentiment is faded away as you guys enter into the tavern.
Yes. So we see Bryn walk in, and somehow in that short amount of time, I've managed to slam some. You know what? Drink it to a race. Some honey mead, favorite. I like Tree Boy, Tree. Hey,
Yeah, that's the right one.
The name's Bryn.
Bryn.
Had you guys gone
She's
and
drunk.
already in a moment,
yes.
Like
I've
30
walked
seconds.
through the door and I am now
We
wasted.
walked in and she ordered like 5 shots of this cinnamon liqueur. It was weird.
Cinnamon.
So as you guys walked in, did you approach the bar? Did you go to find a seat off in somewhere else? There's no the way the map looks in front of you now is the way that it actually is structured. There are people in here.
Yeah, this is updating for some reason.
Yeah.
Ours isn't updated.
Okay. So well, refresh that or maybe use the stream, whichever makes it work for you. We'll work on getting that to work.
I would
very busy for
guess.
us.
I mean, because I'd pick
So
like
again,
a,
it is a very popular place for people to come stay as they travel. Merchants
quiet
often are in
corner.
here.
Do I see anybody with adventuring gear on?
Pretty much, like probably 70% of the people in here look like they are headed somewhere or headed back from somewhere.
Do I recognize any insignias or any sort of style of dress that seems close to where I'm from?
Nobody from there, no. It's because Marcos is so far down to the south. I mean, it took you probably a month or so to get up to Feldar if you would have just gone straight. But because you were already kind of in the north, that's
Right.
part of why you were sent over to Feldar,
Right.
because you were there for other reasons. And anybody as far as from Marcos would be extremely rare this far north.
Well, just need to get it to the order down there. So, well, since it is a long journey, I'm assuming I've run like messages for people before. So do I know roughly how much it would cost for someone to run a message that far south?
If they're not already going there, it would be rather expensive. But if you could find someone who was already traveling that direction,
Okay.
it would be just probably 10 gold for the trouble kind of thing.
Okay, like stop by here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you see
I
probably
guess, is there like an investigation?
the mix of the crowd is about half and half dwarven and human, with a couple of elves mixed in between.
Kind of.
Just a very general crowd, and
So he stands out.
yeah, actually, you do stand out quite a bit. You
stand
kind
out
of
in
get that
places.
whole, like, as you walk in, the music kind of takes a beat, and everybody kind of looks at you, and then just
Hello.
they just kind of go back to it, and like, anyways,
Don't see a lot of Dragonborn here.
yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh, he's got a shiny sword. Adventurer, of course. No.
It's really shiny.
Well, I guess I size up the most likely candidates and approach them.
Sorry, I got lost on something.
Going to say that was not. Oh, you approach someone. Oh,
Like, oh my god! No, I
dare
just
you.
I went to move something and it didn't move because I have people in the wrong order.
okay.
Weird. They're part of the. I messed up. Anyways, okay. So you guys walked in, and then you're walking
you see
towards the
that
bar
one moving.
to kind of inquire,
Right.
as it would be. And Maze is kind of trolling along.
She just sidles up to the bar.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Is anyone in finery, like someone I would expect to be like a mayor type in here?
Make a investigation roll because you're actively trying to find them.
That's a nat 20.
Ooh, nice.
What you
I'm
do
stealing all the
see,
None of
20s
these.
I know.
right? Yeah. You don't
Fit in
see
between.
anything that like says 100% this is the person, but over in the like if you're facing forward towards the bar, the left corner, there are two fairly finely dressed individuals that have some like books and stuff out in front of them that they're just kind of going over under candlelight and just having their own conversation with ironically 3 chairs beside them, which was not intended in any capacity whatsoever.
No, not at all.
In that case, I'm,
No, 100% was not.
I'm gonna find Kale, and while he's out, like
Carousing.
going around carousing. There you go.
Not
That's a
really.
good word.
Carousing is not a good
right.
word.
Not for what you're trying to do. But it's a good word. While he's trying to find the messenger, and like I just be like motion over to that corner and be like, "Those, I think one of them is the mayor."
Okay.
Yeah, perhaps. Did I find my 2 would-be messengers?
Too many things were happening all at once for me to actually grab into anything, and I didn't slow down right. But moving back, we've got Kale. As you approach the bar, you see a large, burly man, just overweight and kind of sloppily dressed, almost like you would expect from kind of just like a our times like a diner type guy,
Right,
you know.
right.
He's kind of cleaning a mug out, and dumping it out, and checking it to make sure it's good. He notices you walk in. Oh, well, look at you. I don't get your kind up here that often. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a messenger.
Well, where do you need the message to go?
Miracles.
My God, Maricos.
Right.
That's on the other side of the world, lad.
I know.
Well, you might ask one of the dwarves over there by the fire. They, I think they're headed south. I don't know if they're going that far, but they might be able to pass it along for you.
Works for me.
All
As
right.
long as it gets there.
Do you want anything to drink or eat?
What do you have to eat?
We got some meat.
I'll take it.
Oh, all right.
Meat.
Meat, yeah.
How much? Can I start a tab?
Sure can.
All right.
Be 1 silver for the plate.
I'll start a tab
Perfect.
as I'm like eating the meat on the way over to
Like the animal you are.
the
Yep.
to the
Heading over
dwarves.
towards the dwarves. They're the ones with the map in front of them there.
Right.
Oh, over there. Okay.
Okay.
Maze, which direction are you going? Because Bryn is now headed off towards the left. Kale has gone to the right. this worked out really nicely.
Okay, so everyone's
Now
getting
you're in the
divided.
middle. Yep,
Did we catch back up to where I?
about to.
So,
I'm going to find just a quiet place to just sit. It looks like there's like an empty table or so.
Yeah, this little spot over here would be probably quiet. It's right by the fire. I mean, you're going to be kind of near Kildstrats, but
Oh, that's fine.
you'll
I will
be
sit there with my food and
just
my
kind of
mini drinks.
relaxing. Oh.
Mini, as in a lot, but little. Mini drinks.
Perfect. And Bryn, as you're in this area, you're not particularly comfortable with the whole scenario. You do motion to Kildstrats like that, and then he kind of just walks away from you, and you're like, "But this is okay." And then you start heading over towards the two that you were heading towards. It's very overwhelming to be in this much noise, and all the chatter and talk is just kind of like almost like having loud earmuffs on. So it'd be like the opposite of actually wearing earmuffs. It's just all this noise is kind of just barraging your ears, and you're just shake it off and kind of head forward almost clumsily, just because you're so disoriented by the whole situation. A barmaid kind of walks past you, almost brushed in. She's like, "Hey, watch out!" And then doesn't sound like a woman at all, and then you head over to the table. Now you're at the table.
Okay. Well, I intended to be here with Kale, but you're right. Might one of you be the mayor of this town?
Okay. It's there's a human and an elven individual there. The elf is female. She's dressed in kind of like green and cream colored robes with embroidery around the edges and the front. She looks up from the book. No. The mayor is most likely asleep. He tends to bed down early at nights. He would be in the grand hall, but I wouldn't wake him now. I would come forth in the morning. And the man dressed very similarly kind of looks up, just like, oh, and looks back.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. And she goes back to like thumbing through pages kind of rapidly. It's like speed reading, so it seems to be.
Mm-hmm. All right. Just walk back to Kale
Okay.
to relay this info.
and I've got more or less a folded piece of paper with a seal on it.
Okay. As you pass the
Part
bar,
of the order.
the barkeep hollers out, "Oi, woodsman, want anything to drink?"
Take some meat if you got it.
Sure do.
Not mead.
Yeah. And he pushes it forward towards you.
Actually, he would take some meat as well.
All right.
My tab, like
Turns
I
back
kind
around.
of
You kind
see
of
it.
notice it, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sure enough." This guy's voice has changed 3 times. I can't keep it
I'm like,
down.
this
I'm
stuff
so
is
off
good.
tonight.
You're gonna
He's
like
doing
it.
it to just make with all the customers, you know.
Right.
Right.
He actually doesn't talk anything like anything we've heard.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a
He
totally
does
separate
that
voice
thing
on
where
it.
like you change your accent based on who you're talking to.
Right.
Yeah,
Makes them feel at home.
perfect. And then Kale, you had approached the dwarves.
Right, yes. I approach the dwarves. Do I notice anything particularly special about them, or are they just...
There's 2 of them there, and they look like most of the dwarves that come through here are very finely dressed, but they're not ostentatiously finely dressed. They're just well dressed, but dressed for the road at the same time. And one of them has more of a dark maroon with gold trimming. The other is in kind of just like gray outfit, still very nice, kind of like a velvet color, but or sheen to it. But they're kind of discussing over this map the different routes they may take. They're very clearly kind of drawing lines out along the Coral Coast, but they also have a couple branching lines. Like they're not quite sure which the best route for them to take their wares. Very clearly going through Edgewater and then cutting down south. So it looks like they intend to head southward, just based off your general peeking over. And as you kind of look over their map, the gray-dressed one drops a book over the kind of southern half of where they're marking,
Right.
and glances at you, and the maroon dressed one that's farther off. Can I help you?
Yes, I was speaking with the barkeep over there, and he mentioned that you two might be heading south. Would you be interested in making a decent sum of gold while you're down there?
Well, I do like gold.
Look, so may I take a look at your map?
What for?
I just want to see if you were going through Miracles for any reason. Or near.
Near. We'll be a little north of there, but we'll be near it.
Well, could I convince you, fine too, for delivering a message to the Order of the Bright Blades?
Bright blades, huh?
Right.
We could do that.
Okay.
25 gold.
25.
Aye. It's a little out of the way to travel into town. We generally stay near the water's edge, and the Bright Blade Sanctum is going to be off our path.
Fair enough. So I just kind of get out a little bag. Try not to show him any extra gold.
Mhm.
Kind of 25.
Okay.
And just put it on the table on top of the letter.
Perfect. He grabs the gold and kind of bounces it back and forth in his hands, and like he's weighing it, even though he watched you pull it out, and he kind of just does the same kind of thing where he pulls his coat kind of to the side and puts it in without really showing you what he's got. Picks the letter up, stuffs it into like an inside pocket, like a breast pocket, and shuts his coat back.
And I would say I do prefer that you don't read it.
Ah, you should have said that before you made the deal.
Well, I mean, if you want to deliver a unsealed letter to the Bright Blades.
We're well aware. And he just kind of motions him just kind of like, we get you.
I kind of laugh. I go, what are you drinking? What?
I don't have an answer. I just don't. I don't. I'm broken today. Yeah.
Just ale.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell him the next round's on Cal.
I'll tell him the whole bar's on you. And he drinks really deeply.
Shrug it off. I was like, I'm gonna tab out before you can do that.
Are you going to go and tab out immediately?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
That would be lying.
Okay. So where will you head now?
Well,
As Bryn's walking
I
up
see
to
Bryn
you.
over. So is that the mayor?
No, he's sleeping apparently.
It's like sundown.
Mayor's a busy man, I suppose.
I
I
reckon.
don't know how these government systems work.
Well, where's our weird friend?
I think
Did
I
I
saw
just
her
say friend?
slinking off to a corner.
Yeah.
Friend, very loose leaf.
Anyway, where is she?
Let's see, somehow, I guess when they walk up to me, I got into a conversation talking about leaves because I don't quite understand this concept to see if anyone's
With yourself? In your quiet corner?
I was in a quiet corner, but I was just motioning, and then the first person hey.
Okay, so there's a young man over by the fire that was, as you found your seat, he was kind of poking at the fire with a stick. And I say young man, more like a boy, like 12 years old, roughly. He was over there poking at the fire. You motioned for him to come over, and he kind of looks at you because you're very weird looking. Your skin is extremely pale. You have if you haven't hidden it, a tail that is just sticking out from behind your outfit. And he kind of looks at you like, are you? And you're still wearing your hood all the way up as well.
Hood, yes.
And he's like, yes.
Yeah, so, I am pretty, because I am, just so people know, a tiefling.
Yeah.
Pale with white hair with slightly hot pink tips, which you would kind of see through the hood. Hood is up, and the tail is somewhat noticeable. I mean, it's just like, if you've ever seen powder, I mean, that is like how white Maze is. I'm motioning to the boy, and I do want to ask him, have you heard about the giant snake or the disappearances?
And as another point of clarity, Maze is a tiefling that does not have horns that you've seen. And she now has the hood up just like any one of you would have a hood up. Unless you have horns. Guess we didn't discuss that specifics,
No,
but
actually, no horns on couch.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's a tiefling that, from what you noticed when you first met, hood down and everything, had no tiefling horns, but every other appearance was of a tiefling. She also has just kind of normal teeth and normal trimmed fingernails. Just everything's kind of normal on her.
Have I experienced a tiefling before?
Yeah, you would have run
That's
into
a good
him.
question for me.
Marcos would definitely have tieflings in it. It's a very vibrant city, so you would see all types down there. And it's kind of a mixed thing where sometimes they're met with scorn, other times they're heralded as, gods or something, nobles. Like there's a very broad spectrum, just as there are with humans. But the little guy comes up to Maze and says, yeah, I've heard about that.
I've heard about that. Have you lost any friends?
Well, no, but I didn't really like the last boy that was taken, so I don't really mind if the snake does that.
Well, you survived, and then you don't have to worry. We took care of the snake for you.
Oh, well, good work, thank you.
And I go, do you like birds?
I love birds.
So I take some of the leaves and I try to just fold it like a swan.
Okay.
And
there's got to be a thing, like a performance
it's
check.
probably
Roll a
like a performance,
check.
but
Yeah,
I'm not
performance sounds
quite.
great.
What would that be?
It is actually a thing, I thought. It's so for you have
16?
+3.
Plus, okay, yeah, I was 16.
Nice. So 16
So
plus
20?
3? Oh,
Yeah.
19, but
16 plus
nice.
3 is 19.
Oh, I can't math.
It's
Right.
charisma.
But,
It's this meat. This is really good meat, guys.
But yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you craft
every
a
roll.
surprisingly accurate swan.
Yes. And I give it to him. I'm like, this is for you, for your bravery and your kindness towards me.
Well, thank you. He takes it. Oh.
Do we
Scampers
see this
right
exchange
away.
as we're heading over?
Yeah.
And I look at him, I'm like, oh, have you guys tried this drink? It is really good.
No, I can't.
Oh.
I can't drink that kind of drink.
I'm just sipping mine.
Okay.
Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, well, I can't say too much, but that report's going to make it to the Bright Blades, so hopefully we'll hear back from them. Maybe they've heard more.
I look at Bryn. I'm like, Bryn, did you talk to the tree?
I did.
What did it say?
Just talked.
It just appreciated my presence.
Do you
Trees
know?
don't talk.
Oh, but it glows. It is beautiful.
It is.
That is the most beautiful tree I think I've ever seen.
It's a good tree. Strong tree. I'm just trying to eat and drink and get out of this noise
Yeah.
Oh,
machine.
then I'm like, it's late.
I was going to say, insight check. How are you feeling, buddy? Natural 1.
How you
It
feeling?
passed on.
Feeling good.
Cool.
You don't look so good.
Do I not?
Well, you said you were feeling good. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
To you, I look like crap.
You look
So
terrible.
perceptive.
Feeling fine.
There's mud caked on his face.
Look,
Like
you lie.
really just kind of like.
All right.
All right. Well, perhaps we should go.
That sounds
Sparky,
Okay.
how much did those wolves in the corner run up on me?
I didn't order a drink.
They didn't?
Nope.
Okay, leave. How much is a nail?
Be about a copper. Got
Leave.
some cheap stuff.
Alright, how about this? On my tab, add 2 coppers. And I'll pay.
Sounds good. Pushes it towards
How
you,
much?
and we'll determine that in a moment.
It's like I got mine pulled up. I'm like, how much do we?
Yeah, exactly. We'll figure all the pricing stuff out later.
He'll send
So are
us
you
the
guys
bill.
heading back to the house now?
Yeah, heading back to
I'm
home
heading
to
back.
rest.
Outside.
To rest.
Okay.
Yep, rest up.
Okay, so
Same place as I was.
Kale and
The other
Maze
night.
are heading back to the house in Feldar. Bryn is headed out to find his campsite again outside of the city. And that is where we're going to take a break because it is already 8 o'clock. So we do have our giveaway. So make sure that you do the exclamation point giveaway if you want to get in on that, or just head to giveaway.rollthis.com. I will also have it pop up in the chat multiple times. It's on like a little timer. It should be correct. I tested it earlier and it worked. So we'll see where we go from there. But we're going to take a quick break, about 10 minutes or so. When we come back, we'll do the giveaway, and then we will start the story back up where we left off. The giveaway is a little different this week. You do have to go to the link as opposed to put anything in the chat. This way it makes it just easier to report and easier to record everything and easier to send you a message afterwards as opposed to trying to do it through Twitch's whisper system and stuff. So we will see you guys in about 10 minutes. And we're back. So, if you have not yet gone and entered into the giveaway, we are giving away this set of Chessex Marble Green / Dark Green dice sets. It's a phenomenal dice set. It's the one that I shared a little bit ago on our Instagram, and everybody really liked it. So I got another one and decided to give it away. So if you go to giveaway.rollthis.com, which has been posted a few times in the chat, we're going to draw the winner here. You may have a couple seconds to click on it and go click one thing real quick. But we are going to draw in 3, 2, 1 now. So we've got one winner, and let's see. Winner is Rogue Zorark 184. Congratulations, Rogue.
I like the name of all our winners.
I have
They
your
had some
email
great
address
names.
here, and I will be sending you out an email either late tonight or early tomorrow to verify everything and get these dice shipped out to you. So congratulations. And with that, leave that screen up and then switch over to wherever Roll20 has gone off to. There it is. And we are not in the tavern anymore, so we're in just the town. And we'll do this one. And we're going to be over in the house-ish. So this is actually going to be kind of
He's not in the house.
the nighttime here. So where are you guys at? Players. Oh, you guys players are actually in the house. That's why I didn't move your tokens.
Right.
So that's why it was still showing the house for you guys.
Right.
Oh, got you.
Because I have to do
still
two
there.
different things. I have to move myself, and then I have to move you guys as well. So,
Okay.
but
Oh,
No
okay.
worries.
That's
you
how that
guys
works.
are.
We were able to follow.
We were
You're
there in
right.
spirit.
So, and then Bryn is just
Bryn's camping
gone.
out.
We're gonna put him in the corner, but whatever. He's not there.
Nobody puts Bryn in the corner.
All right, we'll put you right in front of the window, staring in like. Okay, so should go by without issue. If you two want to have any kind of conversation or such before bedding down.
No.
Okay.
I just
She's probably still pretty sauced.
pick whichever bed is furthest away from wherever she decides.
I will, out of the
figured as
kindness, push 2 beds together for the bigger dragonborn.
Okay. Well, I can't move them, but
I know you
together.
can't move the beds.
Actually, okay.
And then mine's going to be like
Which-
kind of in the corner.
Okay, so you're moving. Are you so? No fucking way. So are you moving the one to the far right to the corner, and the one to the left of that over towards the other one? Is that
Yeah,
what you-
I'm just pushing 2 with his. Yeah, why not? You know what? 2 big to make
I
1
help
big
her.
bed.
I help her.
So
You know-
I don't have the map designed.
No,
for
you're
this,
good, you're
so
You
we'll
know,
just get there eventually. But
I'm trying to
you-
be
opposite ends
nice.
of the-
as you push the bed away on the floor,
Yeah.
you look down and there is a trapdoor beneath where the 2 beds were. That like
I
you wouldn't
see it,
notice
or
it
do I
because
trip
it's the
on it?
same as the floor.
Okay.
But then the hinge was underneath the right side, the handle was underneath the left side, like the 2 beds, and the rest of it just looks like floor. But it's very clearly a trapdoor that leads somewhere.
Okay. And I mean, I'm still a little drunk. I kind of poke at it.
Yeah, which actually in your inebriated state, this would be kind of perfect because
Yeah.
you would just be like, "Oh, that's weird,"
What
and
is that?
pass out.
Well,
You're
I look
gonna
at- I
you're
look
gonna
at
have
it.
to
I
see
see her
this in the morning. I'm going to
doing
bed.
Let's see here. Abilities, features, and traits. So this is all before the long rest, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breath weapon.
No. I'm going to try to sense if there's any sort of hallowed ground or profane things coming from it. Like, does it seem like diabolical or demonic in nature?
So, are you using like divine sense to do that, or
Yes.
just attempting to do it in a general sense?
The first one, divine sense.
Okay. Let's see. I have to read it every time just to make sure I'm thinking of the right things. But
See thing.
no, you do not sense anything.
I'll just shrug it off. Mysterious benefactors. Did you do? And I get it. Yeah.
That's amazing. I can't believe you did that with the beds. That was like supposed to be like that was like a 1 in a million shot that would ever be revealed.
Really?
Yeah. Like I literally didn't
Passive
make a map for it
perception
because
is
I was
amazing.
like,
No,
they'll
I'm
never
kidding.
find that, and you found it while drunk.
It's okay. I won't remember it in the morning. I'm good.
But I will.
That's true. You probably will.
You like stopped and were like poking the floor.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Anywho,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
you sense nothing.
I mean-
You're already passed out.
Oh, yeah.
We've established that.
I just think it's like a basement. Like
Okay.
it's basement. Yeah. Bedtime.
You're in bed as well. Perfect.
Bye.
So suddenly the trap door. No, I'm kidding. But perfect. So you guys are asleep, right? Yeah.
We're asleep right here.
It's like
I'm like,
the portal to
oh.
the plane of devils or something, and yeah.
That was you.
Perfect. So Bryn, as you head out, which direction are you going to go? South, north, east is the river, west is the towards where the path where you came from was.
Where was the last time I camped out?
No, we didn't establish it, I believe.
Very
I guess nearest forest, the area.
It's surrounded by forest,
Well,
and then river.
gotcha.
Just pick a cardinal direction for me, or just roll a d4 and tell me which direction
North,
it is.
southwest.
That's a 3.
3?
What's that mean?
It's 3.
East.
West.
All right.
Yeah.
1,
Because
2, 3.
threes look like E's. Look backwards.
You expect this all to make
South,
sense?
actually,
No.
which is interesting. So, okay.
Yeah.
So you head down kind of the main road until you actually hit the edge. You pass a couple of like farmlands. You're not traveling for like hours or anything. You're just 15 minutes out of town, and you come out and you find kind of more of a densely wooded area and make your way off into there. It's the same spot where you'd camped previously, so you still got your your fire set up, but obviously put out. And if you want to light a fire, you can. If not, then just string your hammock and bed down. Perfect. So, are you doing anything else beforehand?
I'm a little higher up in the trees. And I'm not just ground level.
Okay.
Just picturing an Ewok.
Because obviously I know not to be that accessible. I like climb
Perfect.
each side and string the hammock across. That was weird.
I didn't do that. I'm telling you, Sirenscape is on its mind of its own. I really wish the stream could hear
Stream
Sirenscape
is very
right now.
vivid.
I'm just
Like,
so
there's-
sad that I can't get
That's
that
the
over there
sleep
yet.
music.
Right, it was like
Music, that's
spot
what it
The
on.
game's auto saving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Right.
game is auto-saving. Just buffer.
Do not turn the console off while this icon is on.
That's amazing. Because I enjoy that so much, that's going to be ignored. I got to stop rolling that die. But perfect. So you sleep through the night without issue, all three of you. Bryn, you're the first to rise as the sun comes up, opening your eyes with the sun over the horizon. And pack up your camp. If there's any extra stuff you want to do outside, you can do so. Otherwise, head back into town and meet up at the house again.
Maybe try and hunt a quick breakfast.
Perfect. Roll a survival check.
That's a 23.
23. Okay.
Hot rolls tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I was to say, it's a funny thing. It's on like
It's like I'm at the low end,
Yeah.
he's at the high, and he's like in
right,
between.
and then make what are you gonna hunt it with? Because you found a trail, you found a thing, but you are very well versed in being out
I
in
mean,
the
you could
mountains.
just like find eggs.
Yeah.
I tried that before, it didn't go well.
You found them if that's what you're looking for. So, if eggs are what you decided to go for, you found some.
Yeah, just food in general.
Yep, you found some eggs. There's some berries off in the, like kind of right below them. It's like this really nice little spot of everything you needed for breakfast.
Because I didn't prepare snares or anything.
Right.
So.
Yep. And then there's a little like spring of fresh water kind of tumbling over some rocks and fading off into the ground as well.
Good deal.
Very picturesque little area.
Yeah.
Matches the sound well.
I feel refreshed.
Yep. You very much
re-energized
feel refreshed.
from the tavern scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's funny. That's what I do every week when I go down to middle of nowhere where my parents live. I go out and walk in the woods and just recenter. But perfect. So
and then I just mosey into town, try and find them.
wonderful. So you do so without issue. Gates are wide open as always throughout the first part of the day, and you guys meet back up at the house.
If Maze can, I want to wake up before Kel does.
Okay. Each one of you roll a d20. Whoever
okay.
gets higher wakes up first.
2.
15.
All right. So you wake up first.
Okay.
You wake up. You hear Bryn coming in. He's
I'm praying.
Yeah. So you're praying at the side of the bed. Maze is still in recovery mode, conked out.
Just like,
Hungover.
Do I see that from the doorway?
You're not from the doorway, but as you kind of... Whoa.
oh, because of our, yeah.
Well,
Anywho, I moved like everything all at once. As you kind of walk in, just to kind of glance around
Still
and
a little
see
woozy,
if they
guys.
are back there, you see Caleb Stratz kind of just knelt down with the amulet in his hand.
Are you
I'm just
praying in the bed?
respectfully waiting out here in the
Probably by the bed, yeah.
Oh, by the
main
bed.
area.
Okay.
Perfect.
No, I just woke
So
up.
you take a
prayed.
seat or something.
So when I wake up, because I'm waking, I look down and I see that hatch again. I'm like, huh.
Okay. Perfect. You
You
see
found
it.
that last night.
I did.
Like I'm still like not even facing.
Not
her.
even
I
looking at me,
hear her
just praying.
staring and
Mhm.
notice that she's like it feels like she's looking at something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Huh. This wasn't here before? I don't know.
I would guess it's been here the whole time.
Well, it's ours now.
we
I
have a
suppose you're
trapdoor.
correct.
We have a trapdoor. We should
We don't
check out
technically
trapdoor.
own this, though.
Well, because
You've been
you
given
walk
full
in and I'm like,
permission
hey,
to-
come look at this.
To use it as a base of operations and to reside in it if you would so choose to do so.
Right.
Can I knowledge history?
According to the letter
Uh-huh.
that randomly appeared on the table that was not signed but had that weird
Can I
stamp on the top.
use knowledge history to discern whether or not I understand the laws when it comes to tenancy and landlord ownership
Proof that
in
we.
regards to this city, or do I just know them?
Yeah, do something. Just take a pick and roll it, and we'll see where we go with that.
19.
19, that in itself is fine.
Okay.
So you know that
It's like
the laws vary everywhere you go. Different regions have their own laws. Different cities themselves have their own laws. Some towns, such as this, have their own completely separate laws as well from everything. But in general, it's kind of seen as like once the property is deeded over and payment has been made, there's then a tax paid to the city or town or whatever. And then after that has been paid, then the ownership is transferred in full and recognized. The new person is recognized as the new owner of that establishment or dwelling.
Excellent. Would this constitute as a deed?
It's not signed. It doesn't say any specifics of ownership on it.
Yeah.
So I would not guess that it does. But you can present it and see what happens.
I suppose we don't
Trying to
even
steal
know.
a house.
No, I'm trying to prove ownership of a house. Anyway, we should probably get to see the mayor anyway.
Yes.
Perfect. As you step out, the day has started.
Streets are bustling.
Streets are beginning to kind of pick up a little bit.
Okay.
That's the wrong button. That's
So
right.
did they tell you where the mayor tends to be?
We should expect to see him in the Great Hall.
Okay,
It's usually the biggest house.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like that's
Off
what
we go.
Great Hall means.
Shiny
Off we
sword
go.
does more damage. Biggest house where big man lives.
Not wrong.
Words of wisdom to live by.
Yes. So I'm guessing from because I believe the previous map, it was easy to point out
Yeah.
from where we walked
super,
out. So we
super
go there.
easy
Right.
to know where the
I mean,
Great
and-
Hall is.
I know it's kind of going back, but as we walk by the big tree, I just say hi tree and then walk on.
Okay.
Just kind of smile at Brandon like I spoke to the tree too. And then just kept
What did
going.
it say to you?
Nothing. It just waved. I think it said I should leave.
Jesus.
All of a sudden, branch falls down, crushes me. Mace is dead. You can't beat that.
Anyway.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So we enter the hall.
Okay.
Do we have to make an appointment? Is there just a guy there?
So, it would have been really nice to actually finish that part, wouldn't it? So you walk in, and as you do, there is a young, like, kind of squire type lad sitting there. Like, hello. Welcome to the Grand Hall of Feldar, travelers. What can we do for you?
Yes, we've taken care of your snake problem.
Oh.
We'd like to see the mayor.
You'd like to see the mayor.
What snake?
You know, the giant one that was stealing children.
The one terrorizing
There was a
your
snake?
village.
Of sorts.
Shadow
my.
snake.
That's very disturbing. Do you have an appointment?
No.
Would you like to make an appointment?
We'd like to make an appointment for now.
Oh,
Your sundial.
very.
I understand.
Oh my God, he should have a sundial. That'd
I
be
know,
amazing.
that'd be great.
Will like
Sundial
pop up,
watch.
like holds it up and just, tick, and then he just, it's about that time. The inaccuracy that would be amazing.
Can I try to persuade the squire that the people who literally took care of a problem of disappearing children is probably
persuasion roll.
He beat me. I was about to persuade him.
Is 10 enough?
I would like to also persuade him.
Okay,
Well,
yeah, you can try.
Okay, because I mean, I have a nice
Mm-hmm.
we took care of the snake problem. I mean, if
That's
you
what he
don't
said.
let us see him, we can make that snake problem happen.
So you're
right?
going intimidation then. So roll
more
intimidation.
oh God, I don't know, intimidate. Do I?
You have to with that sentence.
Yeah.
Right, if that's
Okay.
the direction you're going.
6, 10.
10.
Together.
No.
He claps his hands together, and two guards that had been standing kind of off in the shadows step forward, hands on their swords, and just looking at you.
I slink a little bit away.
Perfect. And as the moment seems to get rather tense, there's just kind of stillness in the air.
You boys wouldn't happen to be aware of the Order of the Bright Blades.
One of them nods.
Okay, I'm a member of that order.
Okay.
I would like to see the mayor, please, regarding a situation that is pursuant to the safety of your town.
Okay. And as you say that, you kind of pull your cloak away from you that had been kind of covering your chest, and you see the medallion, and then you actually have the bright blades symbol on your breastplate as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of not emblazoned onto it, but
It's a tablet.
it's on there. So
embroidered or something.
yeah, it's embroidered on there. So you have that as well, and they recognize it instantly, and they're like, fool. And one of them turns and walks away up the steps, past two large ornate chairs, through a door, and the other one's, someone will be with you shortly. He turns and walks away. Oh, guy's embarrassed, beat red. So sorry. He just runs away.
It's okay. I should have started with that, really. Sorry.
And he like looks back, but it's before he shuts the door. He went through and just shuts it, and he's gone. So it's you guys there for a moment.
What did you mean we can bring that snake problem back?
It was shadows.
I've got my eye on you.
I got 2 on you.
Right, well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
See, I win. No, I don't
put
know.
mine up bigger.
I mean, maybe we can make it look.
Probably.
I can make it look like a snake.
Oh, here he comes.
I was like I was gonna do that, and the fact that you caught on to it so quickly just threw me off again. But anyways, you hear the door open up, and as you guys are bickering back and forth, and Bryn standing back at the door ready to leave, A man steps out from the doorway, the guard kind of opening the door, holding it open for him, and then stepping out behind him and standing off to the side. That's so fucking weird.
He has theme music.
He steps forward and has a very deep voice and, hello, welcome. I hear you've handled a problem for us. Come, speak with me. And he, instead of sitting in his chair, as he motions towards you, he steps down the stairs and sits in the at the table that I'm going to place you guys at. I don't have a figure for him at the moment.
There's many tables.
And there's the guard.
Man, these guards can sing.
Yeah, right. And as that happens, there's as he comes out, then there's music starts to fill the space. You notice that there's kind of like channels cut into the walls that the sound is coming through. It's like it's being played somewhere else and then resonating throughout the chamber, throughout the whole space. You get the sense that you have just awoken this individual. Since you came in so early, he was still resting, but was awake and has come out to speak with you. So the guard still stands nearby. He's not quite trusting you, Maze, but is okay with your presence due to the bright blade that is at your side. So, yeah.
Well, turns out it was some sort of snake or serpentine creature.
A large one at that.
What's that?
A large one at that.
Quite large.
Yes.
I received some communication about this. A friend of mine contacted me and said he was sending some individuals out to deal with it, that he was certain of what the beast was and that he was confident in your abilities. I am told that he's allowed you to reside in the southwest house as well.
Indeed.
This man a drow?
This man is a drow.
So he said he was certain what it was.
Yes, of course.
Did he tell you what it was? Because I'm still not certain.
He said that it was a large serpentine creature. Not go into any further details, just that it was the issue that we had, and that he was sending others out to deal with it on our behalf. As we had lost far too many of our city's watch at this moment, we sadly had to pull everyone back to the city and leave the farmers to fend for themselves. It's a very difficult decision to make, but I could not spare any more men.
Well, it's a good thing we came along then.
That it is.
So, I'm assuming that you would probably want a full report on what it was, but first I do have a question.
And I have answers.
Do you know anybody who would be able to identify magical creatures?
Well, from my experience, I'm sure my friend would, but here in Feldar, no. We're all fairly simple men and women here.
Okay.
There's the old woman would tell you she could, but I wouldn't trust her.
Where is this old woman?
Oh, she's in the rundown house on the southeast side of town. It's not. Yeah, she pays her dues, and we can't do anything about it. But she's still here. She's one of the oldest residents of this area.
Well, you're the nature expert. Would you like to explain what we saw?
I had not seen a creature of that size in my time in the forest, nor one that just disappeared.
Disappeared?
Upon dispatching it, yes.
What?
There's no corpse.
That is very troubling.
Indeed. It is not part of the natural order of things.
Do you know anyone who would know more about that, besides our mutual acquaintance?
Your best bet would be heading to Edgewater and meeting with our friend.
He lives in Edgewater.
He frequents Edgewater. I don't know if he'll be present there when you get there, but he does frequent the area.
How much do you know of him?
Honestly, not a lot, but he has come to our aid on multiple occasions for reasons similar to this and others, and I trust him. He's given me a great deal of knowledge, has assisted us here in Feldar, and has caused no trouble to speak of.
Our acquaintance did mention that you had some sort of work that we could do, that we could take part in while we're here.
There's always something to do. What are your specialties aside from slaying things?
That's about all I've got. That's what I'm trying to do. I can pick up big things, and I can move big things.
The Blades are well known for their prowess in battle. We do have, well, we don't, but I've heard problems with the dwarves. They've, up north, they come through trading on the Aran River, passing through Feldar, and word spreads. It's come to our attention that there is a bit of an issue with some kind of incursion. There's not a lot of details. You know dwarves, they don't like to share. But you may be able to assist them. If you went with my blessing, I'm sure that they would allow you in to their kingdom to assist. Or would at least have an audience with you.
Now, Mayor, do we, as you're aware, I mean, we are a motley group. And would it be okay with you for us residing in your town? As we seem to have just been handed the house. But I know our appearance may be uncomfortable to some. I just want to make sure that you can somehow let people know that we are nothing to be afraid of, but we're here to help.
He's giving you this, like, what are you kind of look. Are you cold?
Always.
It's not very customary to wear a hood inside.
Oh, well, it's very, very customary. It's very, very cold where I come from.
Then you should be feeling warmer here.
No. Well, much like the snake that we fought, I prefer to be warm and dark.
Don't mind her. She's hungover.
Do I hear this?
Dreams. Yes.
Okay.
You do.
The meat is good.
Like the whole like bumping
The
thing
meat,
was
like,
in
the
character, not in
Yeah.
player. They do serve it a bit strong down there, if I may say. I don't touch the stuff myself, but we keep the inn well supplied.
Well, I would love to live here then if that's available.
So the nearest work is at the Dwarven Kingdom?
If you head north into the Cloud Spires, you'll most likely find something.
Okay.
You may also find something down in Edgewater. Here we don't have anything specific at the moment, but that doesn't mean something won't arise. If it does, I'll know where to find you, and I'll send someone to the house to call for you.
Well, perhaps we should make our way to one of these two places.
What was it again that Sanas had said about the shadows?
That's all she said.
Yeah, just shadows over and over
She
again.
just repeatedly
I
yelled
asked who
shadows.
she served, and all she said was shadows.
Yeah.
But that's
I don't
all
think
she
he's
said.
the right character to really bring that up to them.
Perhaps not.
Well, Mayor, I appreciate your time. And if there is anything you need of us, I am a healer. I will be happy to give my services where I can to any of those who may be sick, dying, ill, not feeling well. I shall do my best to help them.
It's appreciated, but I fear your visage may do more harm than good in those instances. Where are you from?
It's very, very far east. I have traveled very long ways, and apparently my customs are new here, so it's a place that not many people would hear of.
Well, while you're in Feldar, please conform to our customs.
I am learning. As I learn, leaves go on dead things.
He just kind of makes this face.
Because I point at him.
No, it's my turn.
And shiny swords do more damage.
No, that is true. That is
see,
true.
yeah.
That is true.
Is that why they're called the bright blades?
Very good.
Oh, I'm learning.
Thank you all for your services.
Yes.
You're welcome to stay in the house as you see fit. Elsewise, I would check at the inn for a dwarven caravan that's headed south, or head north and see if you can find work up in the mountains. But for now, I must away. And he stands up, bows slightly.
I
and
bow
walks
back.
off.
Well, I start heading up.
Yeah.
Same here.
It was not the most productive, but
As I walk out, I would like to visit the old lady he spoke of. She is the oldest of this village
It is the most immediate.
and
of
would
the
claim
ladies.
to know of many magicals.
It is the most immediate of leads.
worth a shot.
Okay.
Perfect. So, what would a good roll be for finding somewhere you don't have directions to?
You said
There was
the
a
south
southern shanty.
east.
Yeah.
Yep.
The southeast
You're just
west.
gonna walk the block.
Find an old
So
house.
is the old.
It's not a big place.
Well, it wouldn't be hard if we went
This is
around
not to
asking where
scale
the
per
oldest
character.
lady
it's,
is.
It's definitely
Well, no,
not
but-
like
Oh.
25 feet across.
You know, I wouldn't mind wandering back to the tavern to see if the boy there that I made the bird for is there and see if he might know.
Okay. Know what? Oh, where the house is?
Where the lady is. The oldest lady in the village lives.
Okay. And are you two going to wait while she does so, go with her, or just search on your own?
I'll just rest under the tree.
Yeah, she's got to lead. I'm gonna go with
It's like
her.
with your back up
Okay.
against
I'm
it.
keeping
kind of
my
thing?
eye on her just to make sure
Okay.
nothing's else.
You're just staying with her to make sure nothing weird happens.
Mhm.
You guys head into the the two of you head
Yep.
in to the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. And I change pages. And as you do so, it's not as crowded as it looks on the map now. You do not have many of the people that were previously in there. How is that guy on this layer, but nobody else on the layers? That's weird. There's one guy on the character layer, and everything else is on the map layer somehow. And I don't know how I've managed that. But you head in. The boy is not there. There are maybe 3 to 5 patrons actually present.
Okay.
The dwarves that were at the table have moved on as well. They are no longer there. There's one group that's just kind of off eating in the corner. The 2 that were studying books, that were well dressed, are still going through. Looks like they may not have slept. Whatever it is they're doing, they're just rifling through stuff. And just kind of conversing with each other quietly, not like hurriedly or anything, just thumbing through stuff like they're just researching or something like that. And then the barkeep again. Hello, welcome
Hello.
back.
Oh. Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me, do you know where the oldest lady of the village lives? I've been told that she would be a fun one to visit.
Fun? No, not fun. No, God, no. I would avoid her if I were you, but she lives in the edge of town, the rundown house. I don't frankly know how she continues to pay for it, but some visitors come through, and I assume she sells something or the other there. I don't know. I avoid it.
Really?
Yes, I have a space above where I stay, and this is where I am most of the time.
Yeah. Does everyone avoid her?
Only the smart ones.
Ah. Well, lucky for your friend. I am not very smart. I would like to go see her.
Good luck.
Can I get a meat to go? And I slide over a coin.
He slides it back to you and takes the money.
It's really good stuff.
Thank you.
A meat or a mead?
Mead.
A mead.
Yeah, it's a very confusing situation.
Yes.
Gives you a little sippy cup.
Right.
Sippy cup, yes. The May sippy
follow
cup.
her
That is
out.
it, yeah.
I figured as much, but just in case, you know.
Yeah.
I just go visit her.
Arms crossed at the door. See her start, and then just
Can I
kind
see
of.
if I pick up anything more from the tree? Nope.
Oh, I just say,
roll?
do I walk out and see him hugging the tree?
And nothing at all this time. And it still glows.
Give me the code show then.
Yeah, right.
Ghost in you.
Ooh,
Gosh.
wow.
All right.
Would you get a room?
Just leave. Just leave.
And then I just keep on walking. I'm running out of them. I really am.
Oh my god, the puns.
All right. So
Anyway, so I just look at them like as if to say, any luck.
All right.
I think it's time for us to lumber on over
Ooh,
to this end of
that's
town.
good.
And that's where we know.
Way to stick
Yeah.
with it.
Fantastic. Okay. So,
It's sort of like the limb situation.
Can't.
anyways,
Sorry.
as you guys continue on, not actually having still any good directions as to where this place is, you wander through town for a little bit.
Yeah.
You through the how is that picking up music every time I start explaining stuff? That's just
Good.
so strange. But
Sorry, my MP3, my magical playing device,
right.
just goes off.
You guys make your way around and through interacting with the mayor, heading to the inn, resting a little bit after getting a later day's start. It's actually starting to become the end of the next day. You're not at the point of like sundown or anything yet, but because you're in such a heavily wooded area right beside the mountains with a tall building to the west of you, the shadows are starting to lengthen. It's roughly 4 o'clock-ish, 4 or 5 o'clock-ish type time frame. You round a corner between two just regular houses, and you see smack dab between two of these nicer houses, an old, rundown, dark house. The grass around it's overgrown. It's a 2-story house, and the roof on it is different from the other roofs. This one is kind of more, whereas the others are like tile roofing, this one is more thatched roofing. That's all been like tarred to stay together, so it gives the whole structure this dark and like gothic theme to it. And it has a large arched doorway. It's just a single door that goes up and then kind of curves to a point and then curves back down, comes across with with cast iron bars across it and handles, and a large like door knocker in the center of it.
I go up to it,
Okay.
and I would like to knock on the door.
With the door handle or knock?
The
like
knocker.
knocking?
That's
Okay.
what it's made for.
Cool. I wish I had a little knocker button thing. I don't.
Don't.
Fire spell. No, I couldn't resist. Actually, though.
Sorry, I knocked a little too hard. Sorry. Oh, there it was.
That's close enough.
I
But
was rapidly knocking, like.
right.
It's good.
You knock on it. There's a moment of silence. Another moment of silence. And you hear some shuffling, like
Give her time. She's really
someone walking. There's the sound of like a piece old. Wood hitting the ground, like a cane.
Oh, I was thinking peg leg. Dang,
Yeah, that would
off.
be interesting, but no. And from behind the door, you hear, "Yes? Who is it?"
We are some adventurers. We were told if we have questions to come see you. As I seem that you are the wisest of this area, I would like to share some knowledge.
And you see there's like a little hatch thing. It opens.
Mm-hmm.
You see one eye looking through it. And that is where we are going to end tonight's episode. So we'll pick back up there next week at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I will be more awake, more prepared, and we'll get into some action next week.
Potion of Awakening.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Congratulations to
Yes,
Rogue
Rogue.
for winning this awesome dice set.
Rogue.
If you would like to win one for yourself, be sure to be here next week as we kick off the giveaway again at our halfway point. So thanks again for watching, guys. See you next time. Adios.